If you have a TikTok account, then you've at least seen one of these books. Book Talk loves to recommend them. If you don't know what Book Talk is, it is basically the book side of TikTok. Everybody loves to share their opinions and their favorite books. But be warned, Book Talk is gonna take your money. Proceed with caution. Talk loves to recommend sad books. That's why I'm here today, because I ended up reading 6 of them. If you want to see more book content, I post regularly on my TikTok and my Instagram. I also happen to read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, but make sure you watch this video first. So I'm gonna be rating these books based only on how sad they are. I love each and every one of these books, and I highly recommend you read all of them if you can. So this is how I'm gonna be rating the books. First we have Not Sad At All, Sad But Didn't Cry, basically heartbroken, must I explain. And the last one is Will Never Recover, which we have a lot of. Just to give you an example of how easy it is for me to cry, my zodiac sign is Cancer. I cry on a daily basis. Surprisingly, there are a few books in this pile that did not make me cry at all. So you just have to watch and see. So yeah, let's just get started with the books. So the first book, if you haven't seen it on your For You page, you're lying. It is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. It is about the Sinclair family, which is this huge, super rich and political family that goes to their private island every summer. One summer, however, there is this huge accident which leaves Cadence, I hope I'm saying her name right, Cadence Sinclair, with memory loss. She has amnesia. She has no idea what happened on the island. So a few years later, when she finally returns, it is just her trying to regain her memory and slowly putting the pieces together on what happened the day of the accident. Nobody is telling her anything, which is the most frustrating part of the book. As you know, this book is infamous for its plot twist. But here's the thing. I was not yet on TikTok when I first read this book. I was still in my early stages of getting back into reading. This is actually my first thriller book. I had no idea about the plot twist. I had no idea this was even a sad book. I was honestly caught off guard, and once I hit the plot twist, I was traumatized, to say the least. Obviously now it's been like a year and I'm over it, but at the time I was genuinely in a reading slump, considering if I would ever read a book again. I know it's pretty controversial for its writing style, but like I said, I really liked all of these books. I really like this book. I highly suggest you read it, even if it's just for the plot twist. I will rank this book basically heartbroken. The next book got super popular around the same time We Were Liars did. It is Heartless by Marissa Mayer. It is part of her Lunar Chronicles, which is retellings of famous fairy tales. This takes place way back in Wonderland, where a girl named Catherine is very passionate about baking and she wants to open her own shop. The only problem is that the king wants to marry her, and she lives in a society where women are just basically supposed to be wives. And of course her parents want her to marry the king, but she just happens to be in love with the king's joker, who is also known as Jest. They have to be in this secret courtship. We all know how the Queen of Hearts story ends. This book does an amazing job of explaining why she is the way she is, what she had to go through in order to be this cruel, well-known villain. She didn't ask for much. She just wanted to do what she loves and love who she loves. Obviously it didn't end well, and that just was so heartbreaking for me. If that does not convince you enough to read this book with the amount of tabs I have, then I don't know what will. I'm gonna put this in Will Never Recover. The next book that we have is The Beautiful, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So this book takes place in France 1714, where women are brought up to be wives. And this girl named Adeline, she wanted so much more for her life. So out of desperation, she made a deal with the devil, also known as Praying to the Gods After Dark, based on the book. So that's why 300 years later, no one remembers her until she walks into a bookstore, and for the first time in over 300 years, a boy named Henry remembers her. And after that, everything changes. I'm not even gonna say too much about this book because it's just too beautiful to spoil. This book is a perfect example of how slow burn can be absolutely breathtaking and beautiful, but did it make me cry? I honestly, right after I read this, I was just like, wait, why am I not crying? Because don't get me wrong, it is sad. I understand why people on TikTok are sobbing their hearts out. I finally realized that I'm not crying because I'm not sad. I like the ending. If you know, you know. If you've read the book, I'm sorry, but my genre is fantasy with tropes like dark-haired boy, if you touch her you'll die, enemies to lovers. With the way it ended, I have no complaints. So I'm gonna rank this in sad but didn't cry. I still see this book like everywhere on my For You page. It is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, a book about a system that contacts you 24 hours before you're gonna die. This boy named Mateo, he gets the call that he's gonna die, and he goes on this app which also tells you who's dying the same day as you. I don't know. So he ends up meeting this boy named Rufus who is also dying, and they end up spending their last 24 hours together. Not even 24 hours, they're gonna die within the 24 hours. And like the title says, they both die at the end. That's it. That's the entire book. Did I cry? No. I didn't cry. It's the freaking title of the book. I saw it coming. I genuinely wasn't sad. I was more excited to see how they died. That sounds so messed up. I read this so fast because I just wanted to know how they died. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna rank this not sad at all. Wait, because I remember like after I read this, I was just like happy. Ooh, I was just happy that I knew how they died. There was like no build up to it because I was just given that they were gonna die anyway, so I kind of prepared myself. So I'm gonna rate this not sad at all. Please don't come for me. Whew, this book we have Miss Colleen Hoover herself. It is Ugly Love. It is about this girl named Tate. She is a nurse, but she also is going back to school. She ends up meeting her brother's best friend. His name is Miles. He is a pilot and he is also very busy. They did not get off on the right foot. They didn't like each other when they first met. There is that tension. Obviously they're attracted to each other, but with their given schedule, they don't have the time for anything else but a no strings attached, friends with benefits situation. Now we both know how that always ends. Here's the thing, when it does get to that part where things start to get messy because feelings get involved, the guy usually being the one that's like, I just can't be in a relationship. But this time, Miles actually means it. He has a past that Tate is not allowed to ask about. It is the reason that he is not open to love. So this book is just exploring the reason why he doesn't want to love anymore. We all love a hurt boy that we can fix. Colleen Hoover never fails to make me feel things for a very long time. So yeah, did I cry? Yes, I did. I cried like a bitch. Okay, I'm okay right now. Am I though? No. I was gonna put this in basically heartbroken. No, I'm gonna keep it there because I definitely see myself reading this book again and it being okay. Books that I put in will never cover. I honestly don't think I'll be able to read again just because of the trauma I felt the first time around. I'm gonna rank this basically heartbroken. The last book we have, probably the most popular one in this pile, it is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Can we just take a moment to gather our thoughts, because there is a lot, but at the same time I'm not gonna say too much because this book is in every freaking recommendation video for a reason. So this book is about Evelyn Hugo, who is this huge old Hollywood star, but years later she ends up hiring this girl named Monique who is a writer and is basically gonna publish her story, her real story, not the one that the media has twisted and made everybody believe. This is finally the truth, why she had 7 husbands and who she actually truly loved. Taylor Jenkins Reid is amazing. I have Malibu Rising from her and I absolutely love her writing style. It is so easy to understand. This book is heartache, but the best kind. I would sell my soul to read again, but at the same time I would also just like to take that innocence back and not know this kind of pain. Obviously I'm gonna be ranking this will never recover. We're done! Again, if you want to see me read It Ends With Us, it will be linked in the description. Let me know what you want me to read next. These are all the books that I read based on TikTok recommendations. I hope you guys at least found one book that you want to read. And yeah, please like and subscribe, comment any of your feelings. If you're gonna put a spoiler, at least put 2 spaces below so that people who haven't read the books won't be spoiled. And follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, and I will see you guys on Friday.